Let's go Dolphins! What if I told you the Miami Dolphins are about to undergo a radical identity change, one that could shake everything we've known about this franchise in recent years? I'm not talking about a minor coaching change or a roster reorganization. I'm talking about a masterstroke by management that may already be paving the way for a new coach, a new quarterback, and yes, maybe even a new era in South Beach. The pieces are moving quickly, and the Dolphins aren't playing it safe this offseason. What I've discovered could turn the entire fan base upside down. But first, if you're a die-hard Dolphins fan, and if you've been following the Dolphins for more than 2 decades, I want you to show the world by commenting, "Go Dolphins!" My heart bleeds blue and orange. Let's find out who the real fans are. Okay, let's go. The Dolphins have officially hired John Eric Sullivan, better known around league circles as Sully, as their new general manager. Coming over from the Green Bay Packers, where he served as VP of Player Personnel, Sullivan's reputation across the league is elite. He was twice honored with a spot on the prestigious Bard list by his peers in 2022 and 2025. For context, only 2 other current GMs have ever received that recognition, Elliott Wolf of the Patriots and Adam Peters of the Commanders. That's not just company, that's premium executive pedigree. But what makes this even more interesting is how quickly this GM search wrapped up and how pivotal an external consultant, Troy Amon, was to sealing this hire. Amon, along with legends like Dan Marino, Brendan Shore, Danny Silsman, Tom Garfinkel, and owner Stephen Ross, made it happen. But Amon, he was Sully's biggest supporter from the start. Without him, we might not be talking about Sullivan at all right now. Now, here's where things start to get even juicier. With Sullivan locked in as GM, the dominoes are about to fall. And it starts with who's going to lead this team on the field as the next head coach. Sullivan is well connected across the league thanks to over 2 decades in the NFL, most of that with Green Bay. And the name that insiders like Mike Garafolo and Tom Pelissero keep circling back to? Jeff Hafley. Hafley isn't just some random name. He's the current defensive coordinator for the Packers, and before that, he was the head coach at Boston College. While he didn't have elite success in college, the program itself is one of the most underfunded and poorly supported in all of Division I football. Yet he still managed to lead them to multiple winning seasons. In Green Bay, he's helped build one of the most consistent defenses in the league. In 2024, the Packers ranked top 10 in points allowed, total yards, and rushing defense. And even though they slipped slightly in some areas this year, they remain top half of the league in most key metrics. So the question becomes, if Hafley is Sullivan's guy, is he the right one for Miami? Look, I won't sit here and pretend Hafley is my dream hire. Personally, I'd lean towards someone like John Harbaugh or Jesse Minter. But this isn't just about preference, it's about connections and trust. The way this GM hiring played out tells us something important. Sullivan wasn't just interviewing for a job, he had a vision. And it seems that vision didn't include Mike Mcdaniel. In fact, it's rumored Sullivan may have turned the job down if McDaniel remained head coach. That's huge. That tells us that whoever Sullivan brings in next is someone he believes can take this team further than McDaniel ever could. And Hafley isn't the only name floating around. There are others with strong ties to Sullivan from his Green Bay days. Anthony Campanelli, for example, served as Miami's linebackers coach from 2020 to 2023 before joining the Packers, and now he's the defensive coordinator in Jacksonville. His connection to both the Dolphins and Sullivan makes him a compelling candidate. Then there's Mike McCarthy, yes, that Mike McCarthy, former Packers and Cowboys head coach. Don't be surprised if his name heats up if the coaching carousel gets wild. Adam Stenavich, Green Bay's current offensive coordinator, is also someone worth watching, though he's probably further down Sullivan's list. But here's where things could really explode. Matt Laflur. Yes, Matt Laflur, current head coach of the Green Bay Packers, could be in play. There are rumblings out of Green Bay that if the Packers don't perform in the playoffs, Lafleur's future could be in question. He's only got 1 year left on his contract, and the Packers don't like lame duck situations. It's either an extension or a parting of ways. And insiders like Tom Silverstein suggest the price to keep him could be upwards of $12 to $15 million per year. If Green Bay hesitates, and if they lose to the Bears in the wild card round in an ugly way, you better believe Sullivan will be on the phone. Let's not forget, Lafleur and Sullivan worked hand in hand in Green Bay. They built that team together. And if the Dolphins want to go big, this could be the blockbuster move they've been waiting for. Think about it. Sullivan as GM, Lafleur as head coach. That's a power duo that could not only stabilize the franchise but push them over the top. And yet, we're not done. Other names still in play include Jesse Minter, Kevin Stefanski, and of course, John Harbaugh. There's still some smoke with Harbaugh and the Dolphins, even though New York may now be the favorite. But there's a small connection. Harbaugh's agent, Brian Harlan, is the son of Bob Harlan, the man who hired Sullivan into the Packers organization 22 years ago. It's a stretch. But hey, crazier things have happened. Now here's where things get even more complex and potentially explosive for the Miami Dolphins. Because even if Malik Willis is brought in, this move would carry massive implications for how the front office views the immediate future. Let's not sugarcoat it. Signing Willis wouldn't be a flashy long-term franchise quarterback play. This would be a calculated, transitional move. And here's why it's so intriguing. John Eric Sullivan knows exactly who Malik Willis is. He scouted him. He's watched his development inside the Packers system. He saw how Willis stepped up when Jordan Love went down, most notably during Week 16 against the Bears and again in a primetime Saturday night game versus the Ravens. In those appearances, Willis was poised, accurate, mobile, everything you'd want from a modern dual-threat QB. No picks, efficient through the air, explosive on the ground. Those 2 games alone made him one of the most buzzed about pending free agents heading into this offseason. But here's the twist. Sullivan knows Willis's market value. He knows how much money the Dolphins can, or more importantly, can't spend. Miami is strapped for cap flexibility in 2026. They might be able to offer a 1-year deal in the range of $10 to $13 million, similar to the Sam Darnold deal with the Vikings or Daniel Jones' short-term stint with the Colts. That's not a long-term commitment, and certainly not the kind of contract a franchise hangs its future on. But it's a smart stopgap, a prove-it year for a quarterback trying to revive his career under a GM who already believes in him. So what does that mean for Tua Tagovailoa? Let's be honest, this entire scenario throws his future in Miami into serious question. If Sullivan is really interested in bringing in Malik Willis, it's not to be a backup. It's not to be a camp arm. It's to push for the starting role immediately. And that tells us that Sullivan may already be planning a post-Tua future. Whether that's via trade, walking away, or simply letting his contract expire, the writing may be on the wall. And this is why the head coaching hire is so important. Imagine pairing Willis with a guy like Kevin Stefanski, someone who's run a balanced, play-action-heavy offense. Or better yet, imagine pairing him with Matt Laflur, who literally helped shape the kind of system where Malik thrived in limited reps. If Sullivan can't get Laflur, maybe Hafley comes in as head coach and someone like Stefanski or even Adam Stenavich follows as offensive coordinator. All of these moves signal a philosophical shift, less about airing it out with finesse, and more about physical, mobile quarterback play. Quick reads, pocket movement, smart decision-making. And here's the thing, Miami fans are tired of false starts. They've seen what happens when the team goes halfway in. They want a clear direction. If Sullivan makes Willis the guy, even temporarily, it's going to spark a full-blown quarterback controversy, especially if Tua is still under contract. That locker room is going to feel the ripple effect. The fan base already has opinions locked and loaded. Some love Tua, some believe it's time to move on. But make no mistake, signing Willis would all but confirm that the Dolphins are preparing to reset the quarterback position. Maybe not for 2026, but certainly by 2027, when they'll be looking at a top 10 draft pick and, get this, over $100 million in cap space. That's the real kicker. The Dolphins might be 1 year away from completely reshaping the franchise, and Sullivan knows it. Bringing in Willis now gives the team flexibility. If he plays lights out, maybe he earns a long-term deal. If not, Miami is in perfect position to go all in next year in what's projected to be one of the deepest QB draft classes in recent memory. It's a win-win, if you make the right moves now. But there's risk. What if Willis does enough to win a few games, but not enough to take the team to the playoffs? What if they end up in no man's land with a mid-round pick and no clear answer at quarterback again? That's the gamble Sullivan is weighing. He has to balance immediate competitiveness with long-term sustainability, and it all starts with this next quarterback decision. So let me ask you, Dolphins fans, do you believe Malik Willis is the right bridge to the future? Should the Dolphins give him a 1-year shot and see what happens? Or is it just another temporary solution that delays the inevitable rebuild at QB? Hit the comments and let me know what you think. And if you made it this far, you're clearly a real one. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more exclusive Dolphins content, and check out the other videos on screen right now. We've got deep dives on the GM search, head coach rumors, and everything you need to know heading into the offseason. Go Dolphins!